Okay, welcome back. Third time's a charm. Oh my god, the amount of times I messed up recording this series of reactions. Okay, so I'm gonna real quick jump through these. At least this one. Part 7.
This is another diesel motor.
He's just basically a minute long, like this. So,
Same technology, just better.
Here's an image, and then within a few seconds, here's the larger image, and then so pre-ionization chamber, thunderstorm generator. These are terms I'm just noting. Water intake. So he's got some intake up here. Okay, and then this one is supposedly similar but on a different engine, and that's pretty much this video. So that's my reaction to it. Is that's pretty much a minute, so whatever. And then this one, I'll start here.
So that we can use the heat guns and get an accurate thing there. This is the on-off valve for the technology, so when we turn that valve off, that opens up the vacuum which pulls through.
On-off valve for the technology. When we turn the technology valve off, I guess, does he mean on? I don't know.
Yeah, from here.
Because when it's off, it's, I don't know, whatever. So either way, one way it's bringing air through here, through this system, through to here. Okay.
Right through the system, through here, and then up through here, and then back into the engine.
And then back into the engine.
It's an effective fuel, so turning
as an effective fuel.
The waste energy of the engine into effective fuel.
Turning the waste energy of the engine into an effective fuel. Okay, so here's the thing: is it's an I've said this twice now, so it's a little weird that I am saying it again, even though I haven't like actually said it, but I recorded twice now of me taking note of this. Is that he's basically saying that we're somehow changing the air and then inserting the air into the diesel engine, or gas power generator in this case, and that is producing this power. So it's in, so basically he's saying the power generation is in the air inlet, which doesn't really make much sense to me. I guess if you capture it and then put the air in and it uses air to combust, and then that air is like super fluid, awesome, like energy packed thing that then but like the thing is like engines are designed for specific fuels, so even if it like created some type of fuel that was like somehow a fuel, like to then have the engine use the fuel doesn't really make sense. Like arbitrarily, like it must be designed to use this fuel that he's saying. This air is coming in, becoming ionized and low intake.
Storing that waste energy within the structure, geometric structure of the plasmoid. Next. Okay, here's me operating the engine in London. This is actually running off gas. So because it's tip gas, we wanted to run off exactly the same thing. And again, actually tested the leachate. It's in section 2. There's a very big section on that, and I would suggest people look at that, because at this beyond, it makes irrefutably that the plasmoids operating in the water are actually not only changing the molecular content of the water, and the molecules like cyano, for example, but it's actually changing the ratios of the elements in the water. Therefore, it is actually transmuting those elements.
Again, I recorded this, sorry, so I'm going to just quickly recap what I said and not say it as well as I said it the first time. But anyway, unfortunately, I was muted for that time, so I just didn't even bother because I'm pretty sure I was muted the whole time. But my general thought is like, if you're, let's just say that someone manages to transmute elements out of other elements, like actually take hydrogen and turn it into, say, helium, lithium, whatever, something else. Like the odds of it transforming it into just something else to change the ratio of hydrogen to oxygen, if it's water, I assume he's saying the ratio of hydrogen to oxygen. Well, he says atoms, so maybe other things in the water, but either way, like, so essentially he's saying this device supposedly creates atoms in the water that were not there before, that then are in the system. See the problem? Like, now we got the, like, basically we got a contaminant that is, it's generating contaminants according to him. It doesn't really make sense, like, it's because it's not controlled. He's pretty much like, that's not the design feature. There's nothing designed around controlling the ratio of this output. So like, it's more of a side effect, if anything, if it's happening at all, and therefore it's not like, it would just be, it's not intended, and so it would be producing waste into the system that would probably mess up the engine over time, theoretically, if it actually worked. And like, things that are, who knows what it could do. If someone actually could create an engine add-on that just kind of fueled into the fuel of an engine already somehow, with a different kind of fuel than the fuel that it's designed for, by having some add-on that doesn't actually in any way interact with the engine itself to modify its processing of the fuel. Like, it just doesn't really
or as I say,
add
the
up.
reconstruction of those elements within the water itself caused by the catalytic effect of the plasmoids, making it that you can affect these reactions not at millions of degrees that you do by spending billions of dollars, but simply by having a bottle of water, you can create the same effect. So this is what maybe defies science at the moment, or current thinking, is that it's way too simple and too easy, but it works. So next,
The funny thing is, it's not simple because you've yet to actually explain it. Like, if it's true, it's not simple.
so here again is another setup. Next,
This one I noticed it says UV light instead of whatever the other one was. I forgot already. It's thunderstorm MSAART generator, thunderstorm generator, and then this one on the other image was something else. Maybe let's see. I think it's on the previous video even. I just noted it. Like, why would it have a different name here on this slide? It's a little odd. Like, if he's been working on this for a long time, and they're all, this is my thoughts, they're all the same design on different devices, like a gas, diesel, etc. So why would it be like accidentally labeled something else if not intentional? Why would it be intentionally labeled something else? It's almost like intentionally confusing. That's what I felt about it. Was like, it was actually, I really am looking at this like, is it possible this is intentionally confusing and just silly intentionally? Like, maybe Malcolm is an alien who's here helping enlighten us in other ways, and just straight trolling. I don't know. That'd be cool.
so here again is another setup. Next is a gas engine, and here
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude by. I feel like to suggest that when he probably isn't, and he's just doing his best is rude. Sorry, man. Sorry, Malcolm. This one, I already watched this somewhat to like halfway. This one really, I didn't like from like a logical standpoint. Like the device itself kind of scales up and has this size, and notably, so does this. Like the pipes that he designs this general system of it all is like basically 1-to-1 scaled. It's like if you took a image and just zoomed it up, made it larger, and just stretch it, like it really doesn't to me seem like if you imagine this was scaled up to the size of like a city, like it probably wouldn't need as big of some type of processing device attached to it where it would be like city sized. Like it could be smaller is what I'm getting at. And it seems almost too 1-to-1 where it's like intentionally made like that. I don't know, maybe I'm being a little too nitpicky on the matter. Certainly it has more exhaust and just more energy by being a bigger generator, but like does it warrant like that scale of an upscaling of this device? It seems almost like a little much. That's my thoughts.
Just give a scale. This is somebody tying down our motor. As you said, this is the intake here, which pulls through the plasmoids that are generated here. We've taken the air filters that are normally here on the caterpillar and moved them back to here. The air goes down through here. The ionizers are up here, actually in the pipe between this. We have the ionisation chambers, comes down here. We have our diffuser. We have the generation of plasmoids, our water trap, and then the water vape, water and gas phase, and the plasmoids coming through here, accelerating as a particle accelerator. This is the negative charge end, this is the positive charge end. So, and the spinning here creates lightning, which charges the plasmoids, which then recover the heat from here, reconstitute the compounds, and then bring the plasmoids into the combustion chamber as effective fuel. Next. So here you can see
recover the heat from up there.
Engine analyzer where
Okay.
we actually had the oscilloscope hooked up to the actual plasmoid generator itself, and here's the normal standard gas analyzer. So you can see these were the sort of the tests that we ran, and this is the setup we had.
Oh my god, are you gonna fucking show video?
Tests. So as far as this is, we've gone as far as we can go. We're now taking on to an international level of testing, in Japan and in Europe. So next. So here's fundamentally the principles again, just to run through them again. Is that you've got the air coming in. Here shows the flow. You diffuse, through a diffuser, the air goes through the water bubbler. And here is give a scale. This is somebody tying down our
I think he says the air goes in here. That's why I went back.
As you said, this is the intake here, which pulls through the plasmoids that are generated here. We've taken the air
Goes through this way. At some other point, he said it went this way.
filters engine out and bring the so as far as this is, we've gone as far as we can go. We're now taking on to an international level of testing, in Japan and in Europe. So next. So here's fun.
I mean, this is straight up the other way. I would say that's conclusive proof he's just talking some bullshit. He's just talking some bullshit, dude.
Fundamentally, principles again, just to run through them again.
He even called this positive and this negative. Here, positive, negative.
Accelerator, this is the negative charge end, this is positive R.
Negative charge on, positive charge on. Positive charge on, negative charge on. I mean, either it's not his invention and he's just like a spokesperson, which does not match the story whatsoever, or is this some bullshit?
The air coming in, here shows the flow. You diffuse, fluid diffuses, the air goes through the water bubbler. Water trap here, so no water goes through the engines, water its gas phase going through opposite spin. And at a point here, you have a positive here and a negative here running through. So this the blue is negative here. So basically the counter opposing. So basically the negative electrons are racing through this way and the positive electrons are racing this way. They collide in a minute. And here there's a 0-point plane, which is basically the event horizon on which the change in the
Just randomly in the middle of the tube. Not even the middle. They collide here, and then we have no like device or anything related to the collision point, but we have this ball over here for some reason. Unrelated to the collision point though.
molecular and atomic composition, atomic reconstruction happens at pressures and temperatures that are really not even conceived of within current scientific circles because it's way too low. But
I don't know what to make of this. I'm really, honestly, I was kind of rooting for him. I think it's some bullshit though.
the big discovery in the new industrial revolution is the discovery of, as I said, catalysts that are able to perform or enable the reconstruction of elements at pressures and temperatures that before the recognition of plasmoids and their use were just inconceivable. No, the next. So again, just going the same few more.
Okay, we still got the negative over here. We still got the positive. It's not like these flows are changing over time. And he's like, well, and then there's this variation what matches what I said earlier. Like, it doesn't match. It's actually the opposite. This is going the opposite direction. He said this way. He called this an inlet. It's an outlet. I guess it's an inlet into here. But he said it went into this way. He went this way, saying inlet into here.
Labels on that so people can understand a bit more about what's going on. The next. So basically, this is the same assembly where we've been doing some.
Like, if this actually worked, he would not say this. He would not do this. Where is it?
And here is give a scale. This is somebody tying down our motor. As you said, this is the intake here, which pulls through the plasmoids that are generated here. We've taken the.
Okay, this is the intake, and he's not saying it's intaking this way. Okay. He's saying this is the intake, and it comes from this way, I guess, from the plasmoids over here. Okay. But he still calls this positive.
Filters normally here on the caterpillar and move them back to here. The air goes down through here. The ionizers are up here, actually in the pipe between this. You have the ionization chambers, comes down here. We have our diffuser. We have the generation of plasmoids, our water trap, and then the water vapor, gas phase, and the plasmoids coming through here, accelerating as a particle accelerator. This is the negative charge end, this is positive charge end. So, and the spinning here creates lightning, which charges the plasmoids, which then recover the heat from here. negative charge end, this is a positive charge end. So, and the spinning here creates lightning, which charges the plasmoids, which then recover the heat from here, reconstitute the compounds, and then bring the plasmoids into the combustion chamber as effective fuel. Next. So here you can see this discovery of, as I said, catalysts that are able to perform or enable the Bendall horizon on running through. So this is the blue fuses the air gas analyzer.
Let's go to that.
As far as we can go now, take on to an international level of testing, in Japan and in Europe. So next. So here's fundamentally the principles again, just to run through them again, is that you've got the air coming in, here shows the flow, you diffuse, fluid diffuses, the air goes
It's kind of like bypasses.
through the water bubbler. Water trap here, so no water goes through the engines, water it's gas phase going through.
Like, what the hell are the bypass channels? Just from a physical standpoint, it goes down here, over, presumably across this, up through these three. But only one of them has the device in it, and then re-merges to go this way, and apparently down through here and up through here, I don't know. And then over here, and over here. I guess there's an argon rotation here that then maybe exhausts here, that also goes across this way and interacts with this, creating a 0 point. Which isn't really what a 0 point is. So it seems like a trend, like he's using Tesla, Schumann resonance, 0 point, just like buzzwords that aren't actually quite right. That's my thoughts.
Opposite spin. And at the point here, you have a positive here and a negative.
I'm sorry to be critical. I love you.
Here.
Appreciate it.
Here, running through. So this the blue is negative here. So basically, the counter opposing. So basically, the negative electrons are racing through this way, and the positive electrons are racing this way. They collide in the middle here.
Positive electrons. I mean, he literally says it. You mean a positron? We talking antimatter all of a sudden? If he's dropping antimatter in, like casually as fuck, he really needs to explain it.
Negative electrons are racing through this way, and the positive electrons are racing this way. They collide in the middle here.
I guess he's just saying electrons and electrons from... Although he said negative and positive, maybe he laughed because he realized he was saying it backwards.
There's a 0 point plane, which is basically the event horizon on which the change in the molecular and atomic composition, atomic reconstruction happens at pressures and temperatures that are really not even conceived of within current scientific circles, because it's way too low. But the big discovery in the new industrial revolution is the discovery of, as I said, catalysts that are able to perform or enable the reconstruction of elements at pressures and temperatures that before the recognition of plasmoids, their use were just inconceivable.
Inconceivable!
So again, just going with the same few more
Okay.
labels on that, so people can understand a bit more about what's going on. The next.
Okay, here we
So
go.
basically, this is the same as
Why is he all exhaust and inlet? Straight trolling, I swear.
assembly, where we've been doing some pressure testing on the
Plasmoids
integrity.
and water in its gas phase go through the center and over this way. This goes this way. I guess this goes down here, he's saying, suggesting. Vacuum valve. I don't know what. Argon.
Structure next. So this is the splash trap up here, again the same, just again labelled for people to look at their leisure. Next. To look at their leisure. Next. So it's a good angle on this where you can see the two different systems. Now we took one of these off completely and doubled the performance of the, as I started big, because these are very expensive and the whole project was very time consuming and expensive because you're building something that doesn't exist in ways that people aren't used to. So, but it did prove that because I was concerned about what would happen when I had a concentration of plasmoids in the metal itself, that it could create an implosion, which it did do, but when we pushed it to failure. But that's quite safe because the boys were saying, is it going to blow up? I said, no, it's going to implode. So one day they heard a dump and it imploded. When we pulled it apart, we saw the pipe. So, and it imploded not in a round, but it made a square because plasmoids like squares. They like living in crystal form squares. So anyway, next. Just another.
Where's that image, dude?
Next. And here's the implosion I was talking to you about, the 0 point black hole implosion.
Okay, there it is. Square. Yeah.
You can see how it's literally just torn the metal apart. And the next photo will show.
It is interesting, I will admit, these features here that look like they start around here. Like, almost like it's got like a vortex there, like a 0 point, as you're saying. Like, maybe. Just looking at the actual pipe itself, which he maybe doesn't point to, although if it's a scam, maybe he understands it's good not to point to it. And be like, check it out. Like the way the lines are like suggestive of a current flow.
That it's actually gone from a sphere to a cube. So in the process, so it's quite amazing. It's fascinating, yeah, that it could do that. I think, yeah, just moving on. I think this is the last slide. So, in the next section is the kerosene jet engine, section 9, which we'll keep on going on into, because
if this is seriously novel, oh my god. I don't think it is, but if it is, it would be sad how much could have been documented. That's just not. That's actually my thoughts. Like, that could have been documented. Like, I've been documenting like everything, practically. Like, if I were to be someone on it making inventions and running experiments that I think are like the next thing for energy, and like, I am the next Nikola Tesla because of this. Like, it just is because of this. It's, I don't know. It just is because of this. Then, like, I don't know what's that. Yeah, I would document the living fuck out of this. I want to just have some pictures. This to me is like hiding but showing to like keep some of it that's more revealing of why people maybe should doubt what's going on here, and really being just super, super meticulously careful about releasing information in a controlling way that's not necessarily because of best intentions. Like sometimes it's good just to like share when we can share and not like do this game where it's like, well, you gotta pay. Did you want some more information? You gotta pay. Gotta pay. I was thinking about stopping streaming and make my last video. Listen, guys, I'll make another video once I get $1,000 of donations. I'm really fucked. I'm really fucked, dudes. That's like barely even scratching the bucket or whatever. Scratching the thing. I'm just fucked. I need something to work out. That's the reality of the situation. And me doing this doesn't seem to be. So honestly, there's gonna probably come a day where I'm just like, sorry, dudes. I ain't got time for this shit. No one's even listening. I mean, not no one. Sorry, guys. It's just when I'm trying to reach the world, it always feels like no one. When it's like, not the world. Although it's offensive to probably people. Although hopefully people who have listened enough understand. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, 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 okay. I'll be back for the next one soon. Alright, peace out. Thanks. See you then.